Okay, a quick update video to see what we've been doing. As you can see, there's a van in the background. We've got rid of our car and trailer and we've got a van and had it converted. We've done some of it ourselves, some of it by professionals, ready for our trip to Sweden, which is now less than 3 weeks away. So later in this video, give a proper tour of the van and what we've done to it, and how we're going to be travelling. But in the meantime, we've been working, both of us part-time. I've been delivering pizzas for a well-known pizza company, and Jackie's been working at the pub, doing bar shifts. So we've earned a bit of money. I think we've earned enough to cover our travelling costs for the trip ahead. So that's been great. And actually both jobs are really enjoyable. So we're going to go on our maiden voyage today in the van. Not to forget, Star is excited, ready for his trip to a forest. Right, we've made it to Skyline Forest. Found a nice area to pull up. There's our van parked up in the woods. We're going to have a wander about, and then we'll come back, get the roof up, and do a tour of the van. But it drives lovely. It's a 2.5 litre automatic. We bought it as a minibus called a shuttle, and inside was a wooden bed, or sort of board bed, and a bike rack on the back. And we got a really good price for this because it's a 2.5 litre. The road tax is really high. It does about 35 to a gallon, but the road tax is £600 a year. So we sold the bits and bobs and then kitted it out and got about nearly £1,000 back off the things we sold. So really pleased with the van. It's driving really well. A beautiful British countryside. Taking it all in before we set off for our European adventures. Looks like one of the giant trees has fell. Not that long ago. It's still got some leaves, even though they're brown. Probably we had a few storms a little while ago. Maybe it was to do with that. Okay, this is some massive hornet that maybe has killed something down there. To give you an idea of the size, it's probably about a good 2 or 3 inches long. Looks like it can't fly for some reason. We're going to avoid this and move on. Right, we've come to a gate, but we're allowed through. It looks like there might be cattle in here, but there's no sign of them. There is a big water bowl, but I think they're not here at the moment. We're going to carry on. Now this tree has been down a very long time. It's slowly being eaten from the inside by the looks of it. Hopefully we'll have a much better video quality. While we've been back, I managed to upgrade the iPhone, so it's meant to have a more megapixel camera and be better quality. We'll see how it comes out in the editing. We've walked about a mile. We come to this signpost. We now realise the last time we come here, we must have came in at the parking area. This time we've drove straight through the forest road for a mile or so, which is really nice. Little example of things that are in here. No mention of a hornet. Star's grazing, enjoying the fresh grass. Yeah, so we're back at the van. Like I say, it's a 2.5 litre diesel auto. Was a minibus or a shuttle bus. It's got the factory windows that when they're closed are small. The little squares there slide open. We've had the pop top on, you can see that. Being black, it was cheaper because if the van was red or something, you have to have the pop top painted. You can just see the back of it where I've stuck some solar panels on, and I'll go through that in a minute. But it's a nice looking van. Little tiny bit of wind noise at about 80 mile an hour, which is nothing really. Drives like a car, and you know, sort of a stealth camping van. I'll give you a tour of the inside now. This is the view from the back. You can actually sit on this little seat here with the roof up if it was raining, as Jackie's going to demonstrate now.
Oh, okay.
So you can sit on that and look out, and that seat becomes a rock and roll bed. This unit, we've got a Jackery power source in there and storage. I made a complete mess of cutting the shape out because of the way the shuttle works, so we stuck on these vinyl stickers. A look inside the van. So we bought the furniture as a flat pack, a misorder, and we got it for half price. Still expensive, but it's got cupboards, a drawer, and the drawer and the cupboards lock this top unit, which I think was originally for going across the van, but we put it above there. We didn't want a sink or anything in there. That also lights up with LED. And then the whole of the roof has been replaced. Because it was a shuttle, it had lights and aircon in different positions. We had one of those moved to the back of the van, and then the top all lifts up. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this up now. There's some safety straps to hold the roof down. They undo. And then there's some buckles you undo. And then the roof just simply lifts up. And looking from the outside, you can see that's the roof. This part here is a bed, and on top of it you can sleep, and it takes up to 400 kilos, so we're quite safe there. But that lifts up on gas struts. All of these unzip. The front one's a window. These side ones are ventilated. So it's absolutely brilliant. It could almost be a 4-berth. This bed, this chair, it's got 2 seat belts, and it slides out to a bed. We are going to go camping in it in another week. So the second part of the video show that set up as a bed, as well as having a bed at the top. Like I say, we've got this little tiny Jackery that runs our electrics. At the moment it's on 100%. It's not getting any input because it doesn't probably get any from the trees above, and we've got 31 watts output at the moment. I'll walk you back in the van. That output is a small compressor fridge we've got in here, which we've got off Amazon for about 150 quid, and that can become that'll go down to -20 if you want. So that's really good. But we didn't want a cooker. We've got a gas hob, and we're going to set that up in a minute and make a cup of tea. And for washing up, we're just going to boil a kettle and use a bowl. We've had caravan, trailer tent, motorhome in the past, and all of them, where you have water to a bottle to a pump, we've had leakage problems. So we've decided not to bother with that. On all the windows we've fitted curtains as well, and we got the foil window inserts for the front, so we can make it dark. But again, we'll show you that more of that when we're camping. A quick look at the solar. So you can see on the back of the roof, we've got two 50-watt panels, flexible panels, that are stuck on with Silkaflex and then Gorilla taped all the way round. The only thing they had to do is cut a hole in the back of the van, in the roof, which again is Silkaflexed and taped over, so making sure that's water. So the costs, we paid about just 9,000 for the van, which is a 160,000 mile T5 Shuttle. Sold about nearly £1,000 of the accessories that were in it we took off. The roof was 5,000, or just under 5,000, and that was for to be fully lined on the roof. We've got lights going round, the roof bed, the scenic canvas, you can unzip that and sit at the top and look out. We will do that one day. The furniture we paid 900, which was roughly half price. It's by Evo. The roof was by Big K Campers, who are absolutely brilliant in Swindon. The rock and roll bed we got from a camper company off eBay, and then we had two seats in the front, like a bench seat for the passenger. We've got a second-hand front seat and a swivel base, and that came in about 400. But everything to do with VW or campers as a premium. So I think all in, we're just under £16,000, which is still a lot of money. But we, like I say, sold the old car, the Subaru, and I think if we'd have tried to buy this ready-made, we'd have paid a lot more. Probably maybe £4,000 to £5,000 more. So we're really pleased we've done a lot of it ourselves, fitting the chair, the furniture. Furniture also comes with a little table that Jackie's just set up now, and we're going to just boil up a kettle and have a picnic now. So yeah, delighted with it so far. The next part of the video, because we've still got our tent, which we're an air tent, which we're going to use as an awning when we're camping in Britain, and we'll show that all set up, the bed set up, when we go camping, which will be at Breen in Somerset. This is our little Jackery we bought, which is a 250-watt power unit. The blue light is solar in, so unfortunately probably got no input because we're under the trees, but normally that can go up to 60 watts from the two 50-watt panels on the little input screen. The fridge only comes on 50% of the time, and when that's on it draws about 30 watts. You also got USB, and you've got an inverter, so you can run up to 250 watts of power, 200 watts of power, which would last just an hour or so if you were running mains. But it's brilliant. That was a couple of £100. It is portable, you can take it out. You can charge it from the car cigarette lighter as well if you wanted to. But we find the fridge, you can drive the fridge on a normal, not so sunny day. We also charge our little fan here from the USB ports, charge our phones, and that's more than enough for us to be kind of off-grid. Our cooking is on gas, a little gas canister. We've got two of these, and we're just boiling up the kettle now. So the fridge is absolutely excellent. Even without any input, it'll run for 2 days just off the Jackery. So a cheap way of going off-grid without having to have an inverter, a solar control unit, and a leisure battery. So highly recommend the Jackery. They're quite oddly priced. We got that for $220, I think, 250 watts. The bigger one, which can do 500 watts, is more than double the price. And the bigger one again, which is 1 kilowatt, is about 5 times the price. So if you haven't got a high load of, if you don't want to use mains, then I think the 250 watt is more than adequate. Certainly for our 15 litre fridge stroke freezer, it's more than powerful enough. The other thing about the VW Shuttle is that it has twin sliding doors. So both sides of the van you can open. In the future, that's just stashed behind there, we've got a little space. In the future, when we move to Portugal, we want to be able to import the van. Well, we're going to look at if it's possible to import it and get Portuguese number plates. Now, if you have one with just the British side driving and passenger side sliding door, which is standard, you have to have the door welded up to be allowed to be registered in Portugal. But with this side sliding, I'm hoping that we can avoid that. It may mean we have to move the bed over and either reverse the furniture or get new furniture cabinets, or do something with them. But that's the reason we got the Shuttle. We were lucky when, as soon as we got back, we looked for this and found it in a couple of weeks, only about 40 miles from home. And ordering the fitting of the roof has taken 7 weeks. The finding the furniture, that a lot of that had like 10-12 week lead time, and we found this one that was ready to ship. Even the bed chair was about 6 weeks to get it delivered. So we've got 2.5 weeks or so to go, nearly 3 weeks before we go to Sweden. So we've got it done just in time. Any shorter than that and we would have run out of time anyway. So it's turned out quite lucky, and we are so excited to be setting off on the journey and just pulling over and having a sleep in it and eating and drinking and relaxing. It's going to make the journey so much more enjoyable than the last times we've driven to Sweden. Like I say, we've driven up in a minibus, we've flown, hired a little car, we've had a motorhome to Portugal, and this certainly is our best option. You can see why I wired up the solar panel. I made the lead just long enough. Hopefully that will never kink inwards. It'll always go outwards when I put the roof down. Another little stop on the way back home, up near Avesbury. We just climbed a ginormous hill, so looking out. I think obviously they must train racehorses around that white track. So we're all parked up at our campsite. Pop tops up. The roof looks filthy from the rain we've had recently. Got this foldable bucket filled with water. I'm going to practice having a shower when we're properly off grid and travelling. As our pillows and everything were just set up at the back of the van, using the boot as a sunshade. We had this air tent for Britain, absolutely brilliant. Got it just before Christmas. We did take it to Portugal, but never used it. It's a blow-up Berghaus tent. Quick look in the van, set up the shades on the window, just roughly at the moment. There's our foldable water carrier. We're going to move that because what we're going to use the tent for is a kitchen and everything for these few days. So yeah, everything packed in really well. Van's pretty much finished now. Solar's running the fridge under here, under that cupboard, which is filled with our supplies, all packed in. We've got it set on 4 degrees. And looking around, Gonna get the gas hob out later. Like I said, we've set up this as a kitchen and as a toilet tent for now. Quick check on the solar. It's also charging our speakers. We're getting 9 watts of input and only 5 watts of output. Like I say, the compressor fridge only uses 50% of the time maximum. But it's called Diamond Farm, this site. It's a lovely site. A lot of permanent caravans parked here, but there is touring pitches. And it was only £16 a night. An extra £2 I think for electric. It's right on a river. It's got a lovely walk down to Bream Beach. And we're going to test out living in the van for a few days. And we're less than 2 weeks away now before we make our journey. Going over the van, you know, it's all working really well. No rattles or
apart
knocks.
from the kettle banging against the cup.
Apart from the kettle banging against the cup, yeah. Those cabinets, I would say, took about maybe 100 hours to assemble. 25 of it was mine, and 75 of those hours were Jackie's. What do you think about that assembly?
Oh, my hands were cut to shreds. So stressful, and I love flat pack.
But it was all worthwhile.
Yeah.
So we'll post this video up. The next one we're going to do will probably be the journey to our Swedish cabin. So that'll be through Britain, on the ferry, through to Hook of Holland, driving up through Denmark, and going across the bridges that way. And then when we get to Sweden, I think we're 900 miles through Sweden up to our cabins in Lapland. So probably, I don't know, going to be in about 2.5 weeks, that video, provided these tests all go well. But everything's going well so far. So thanks for staying with us, all the subscribers. We've actually managed to gain a few subscribers since we come back from Portugal. We thought we'd lose quite a lot, so hopefully, even if you're watching the Portuguese side of us, you'll be interested in seeing Sweden and the travelling. And we're going to have a lot of videos from Sweden, and then we're planning to be there for 6 weeks or so, and then travel down to Portugal around about the 3rd week of August for about 5-6 weeks there. So anyway, good feedback on the road, and we're very excited to get travelling again.